Today, I am creating the strongest character in One Piece's history. I will cover every trait and aspect a character can have, and pick only the best of the best in each category. And by the end of the video, we will be left with a character so overpowered that not only no one will be able to stop him, not even entire pirate crews, not even all of the world government, not even entire pirate alliances. Heck, not even entire armies would be able to stand in the way of the character I am about to create. What should we name this character? Well, since this character will be the best of the best in his field, let's just call him Aniki. You know, it runs in the name. But before we begin, just to make this a bit more difficult, a small rule. We can only use a trait from a character just once. So, for example, if we chose to go for Luffy's Devil Fruit, the Hito Hito no Mi model Nika, then we will not be able to choose Luffy again for another trait like his Hockey, Speed, or Intelligence. Okay, so let's start with the very basic now, shall we? What race will our character be? It is true that in the world of One Piece, there are many special races, each with its own unique abilities. However, if we had to name only the strongest ones, we'd have to pick these three. For obvious reasons, Giants is the first race that we're considering. Being Giants, they are, well, you know, gigantic in appearance. They have enhanced strength and durability that matches their size. But are they the best option? Not quite. The second race we have to consider is the Buccaneer race of Kuma. This race is a type of humanoid significantly larger than humans, but also smaller than giants. You see, Buccaneers are shown to possess great physical strength even as children. They have incredibly durable bodies that can withstand massive degrees of damage. Additionally, Vegapunk implied that there is something other than physical strength that makes Buccaneers special, which is seemingly related to the reason Kuma was able to act after his total shutdown switch was pressed. Even though this race seems the perfect option, I'd have to go for another one. I choose King and his race of Lunarians. I mean, hear all these. Lunarians possess the ability to ignite their body and manipulate the fire they create, including for the protection of concentrated fire blasts or fire-based physical attacks. Additionally, Lunarians' physiology tremendous vitality and resilience to harm that borders on invulnerability, allowing them to thrive in any natural environment. However, it does appear that at certain points, a Lunarian's signature durability is lost when the flame burning at their back goes out, though they will gain extra speed in exchange. Plus, unlike the inhabitants of Sky Islands, an adult Lunarian's wings appear to be fully functional, allowing for flight with no visible strain. Now, this was just the first point, and we've got another 13 traits left to analyze. And for the 14th trait we saved for last, well, all I'm gonna say is that it changes everything, as that will be the most broken trait for someone to have in One Piece. We chose his race, but how about the way our character will be sailing the seas? We now have to give our character a ship. Now I know what comes to your mind, Sunny. The Thousand Sunny is among the most technologically advanced ships in the series. Aside from the incredible durability granted by the treasure wood atom from which it is made of, the Sunny possesses many unique features. It also includes some nice additions Frankie added himself, most of which are naturally powered by cola. These additions include Coup de Burst, where Sunny is literally sent flying into the air for a kilometer, Chicken Voyage, where Sunny can perform a maneuver in order to quickly escape attacks, and Soldier Dock System that allows for the 6-channel special transformations of Sunny, and even the Gown Cannon, which is a powerful cannon hidden within the lion's mouth. The cannon itself fires a powerful blast of air that resembles an energy beam. But what if I told you there were 2 more ships that we need to consider? The first is the Buster Call ship, which is shown to be numerous times the size of a giant. Under different circumstances, this battleship would definitely be considered. However, since this character is going solo, we have another option that is even better, Pluton. You see, Pluton is one of the 3 ancient weapons, and it is a highly advanced warship capable of mass destruction, labeled as, quote, the world's worst battleship. Naturally, this is our option for our character's ship. Having knocked down the basics, let's start getting into the more technical aspects of our character. What will his fighting style be? The known candidates are Garp, where he fights with just Hockey alone, Yasop, that fights with the use of guns and observation Hockey, Luffy, that fights with Devil Fruit and Hockey, Mihawk, that fights with Hockey and 1 sword, Zoro, that fights with Hockey and 3 swords, Whitebeard, that fights with the use of a Devil Fruit, Hockey, and a sword, or Shiki, that fights with the use of Hockey, Devil Fruit, and 2 swords. Naturally, the best option for us is to choose the last. Now that we know the fighting style of our character, let's move on to the next trait. Let's give our character a Devil Fruit. Truth be told, there are many great options, some of which include Luffy's Gomu Gomu no Mi, Whitebeard's Gura Gura no Mi, Blackbeard's Yami Yami no Mi, and Enel's Goro Goro no Mi, just to name a few. However, all of the owners of the Devil Fruits mentioned will be used later on in the video for other traits. So because of that, we'll have to choose between Kuma's Nikyu Nikyu no Mi, Kizaru's Pika Pika no Mi, Marco's Tori Tori no Mi, and Law's Ope Ope no Mi. Kizaru's fruit is pretty overpowered, as it allows the user to move at literally the speed of light. However, since we later on will be able to choose a character for speed, this aspect will be covered later on. Now, don't get me wrong for the next devil fruit. Kuma's Nikyu Nikyu no Mi is indeed quite strong, but I think both of the Tori no Mi and Ope no Mi are better suited for our character. Under different circumstances, I would choose Marco's Tori Tori no Mi that would allow our character to heal his own injuries on the spot. However, Law's Ope Ope no Mi goes exceptionally well when you consider the rest of our character's traits, and that's why I'm choosing exactly that. For now on, you're just gonna have to trust me, but you'll see in a bit why I chose the Ope no Mi. We've covered 4 traits so far, but we've yet to give him the most important trait, and that's none other than hockey. Let's begin with armament hockey. Here, we have 3 main candidates: Kaido, Roger, and Shanks. When it comes to Kaido, we saw that his body is indeed quite durable and not easily penetrable. However, given that both Shanks and Roger have arguably better hockey than Kaido, we should probably go with one of those two. Although we did not see Roger in many battles, being the Pirate King and having no Devil Fruit, I think it's fair to say that Roger's hockey is top tier, and because of that, we give our character Roger's armament hockey. We covered one of the 3 main forms of hockey, and the next one on the line is observation hockey. The prime example of a character having polished this ability to its maximum is when a character unlocks the ability to see into the future. You see, the characters with confirmed future sight so far are Luffy, Katakuri, Rayleigh, Shanks, Roger, and Kaido. We take out Roger since we already used him. For Luffy, Rayleigh, and Shanks, we've got other traits we'd like to take from them, which leaves us with Katakuri and Kaido. Now, even though Kaido is arguably stronger than Katakuri, I tend to believe that Katakuri's future sight is more advanced, as again, we saw him seeing sequences multiple seconds in the future, where Kaido can only see the immediate next moments. So, for observation hockey, we have Katakuri. And finally for hockey, we've reached the most important form, available to only the strongest One Piece characters, Conqueror's hockey. Here, the 2 strongest characters in terms of Conqueror's hockey that we know of so far are Shanks and Roger. However, since we already used Roger, Shanks is also a top tier choice. At this point, I would like to explain the reason why I chose Law's Ope no Mi over Marco's Tori no Mi. You see, an important ability of the Ope no Mi is that it allows its user to spread a barrier in which the Devil Fruit user has almost absolute power within. In this space, the user can use room shambles and exchange the position of characters or objects within that given space. This ability does not work on characters with stronger hockey than the Devil Fruit user. So get where I'm going with this? Having made our character having the strongest hockey in all of One Piece, this means that when Aniki wants, he can just use room shambles and move all Devil Fruit users within the sea and let them drown. If this opponent is not a Devil Fruit user, well, our character has stronger hockey than him, so again, we have the advantage. Was that all? Nope. We're going for overkill here. And next, we've got 2 swords that our main character will be using. When it comes to the strongest swords in One Piece, the prime candidates are Mihawk's Yoru, Roger's Ace, Whitebeard's Murakumogiri, Shanks' Griffin, and Zoro's Enma. From all the swords we mentioned, only Zoro's, Whitebeard, and Mihawk's are available, since the other characters have already been used in the video. For Whitebeard, I reserve another trait for him, and because of that, we give our character both Yoru and Enma. Mihawk's Yoru was the first Saijo O Wazamono weapon to be revealed in the series. It's an all-black blade, worthy of being wielded by the strongest swordsman in the world. With the power of this blade, Mihawk has managed to cut down a giant iceberg and large galleons with ease. The flying slashes from the blade are incredibly accurate and can cause hefty damage to surroundings. From what the anime has shown so far, no other sword can match Yoru's power. And when it comes to Enma now, well, we've got yet another of the 21 Owazamono swords. Enma is one of the 2 weapons that managed to injure Kaido in a fight, which is an incredible feat, considering that Kaido's skin is near impossible to penetrate. Enma also has the unique ability to draw out hockey from an individual, which makes Zoro's attacks all the more powerful, if the user has strong enough hockey to wield it. Alright, even though our character could already defeat anyone in the One Piece world as it is right now, we're still far from upgrading him to the fullest. How good would his durability be? Well, the 3 prime candidates for this trait are Kaido, Whitebeard, and Akainu. Kaido's insane durability gave him a reputation of being unable to die. He was caught and tortured 18 times. He was attempted to be executed 40 times, all of which ultimately failed, as Kaido survived every single attempt because every execution weapon broke when used on him. Most notably, Kaido jumped 10,000 meters from a sky island onto the ground, creating a massive crater and shockwaves strong enough to sink a large ship nearby. Even after all that, he emerged with only a small headache. Now, when it comes to Akainu, his most notable durability trait was that he got punched in the face by a quake-infused punch from Whitebeard. That, by the way, also split the earth in half. Now, I don't know if that's a trait of durability or a trait of plot armor, but still, either way, it doesn't matter, because our choice for durability is none other than Whitebeard. The guy was sick, old, and even like that, he received 267 sword wounds, one 152 gunshot wounds, 46 wounds from cannonballs. He sustained 2 giant holes in his chest and head, and even half of his face was blown off. The guy kept going. 9 traits down, 5 more to go. Next trait in our list is physical strength, and let me tell you, we've got some insane candidates here. First candidate would be Whitebeard. However, since we just used him, we're gonna have to choose among the next 2. The first one is once again Kaido, and now all I'm gonna say here is that this dude was casually holding an entire island while fighting. Yeah, some people might argue that this was done mainly due to his devil fruit power in combination with his haki, but I'm pretty sure physical strength played a crucial role in that as well. Plus, throughout the fight scenes Kaido had, it's safe to argue that his physical strength is no joke. However, once again, I would have to give this trait to someone else other than Kaido, and that someone is none other than Garp. Garp was on par with characters like Prime Whitebeard and Prime Roger, and all of that without any devil fruit or weapons, meaning that Prime Garp, even without having any devil fruits, was surely stronger than Kaido. Plus, his galaxy impact that we saw in recent chapters showcases just how insane his power really is. That move is a combination of both insane haki and monstrous strength. So because of that, we're giving our character the strength of Garp. We spoke about strength, but how about another equally important physical trait? That's none other than speed. Here, we should point out that we only consider the speed of characters that come through their own power, and thus, the speed does not originate from a devil fruit power, meaning that characters like Kizaru and Kuma that have insane feats of speed are not considered, since this speed originates mainly due to their devil fruits. We now have 2 prime candidates. The first is Lucky Roo, that although not confirmed, many fans theorize he is the fastest character in One Piece. I mean, giving a character with this body type this record is something Oda would definitely do. However, here I would like to remind you of a character possibly even faster. Do you remember who Kizaru fought against in Sabaody Archipelago? Rayleigh. I mean, Kizaru can move at the speed of light due to his devil fruit, and yet this old version of Rayleigh could stop him just fine without any problems. And for that fact, we'll be taking the speed of Prime Rayleigh for our character. On to the final 3 traits. The next ability in line is none other than intelligence. Now, I know what we're all thinking here, right? Intelligence should obviously go to Luffy, right? No, I'm just messing with you. We don't even have many candidates for this trait, as it obviously goes to Vegapunk. Now imagine having all these insanely broken abilities we just analyzed, and on top of that, our character has the intelligence to build all kinds of insane stuff to become even more broken. The list includes clones of characters, genetic modification, insane weapons, overpowered uniforms, I mean, you name it, and Vegapunk can build it. And now, so can Aniki. Even though intelligence is important, at the end of the day, it would mean nothing if our character did not know how to properly fight to begin with. Because of that, we now have to choose a character for battle IQ. Now, even though there are many characters to choose from, I believe one of them excels and is a cut above everyone else. Even though we made fun of Luffy for his intelligence, something that is not up for debate is that when it comes to unique and creative ways to fight, Luffy is one of a kind. He can utilize his devil fruit abilities in ways only he could come up with, and he always manages to come out on top in crucial situations. And now we reach the most important trait of the video. This is none other than a special ability. And let me tell you, there are many incredibly overwhelming ones to choose from. For example, Saturn displayed the ability to instantly hyper-regenerate his injuries on the spot, an ability that, as you understand, is incredibly overpowered. Another special ability is Shanks' observation haki nullification that earned him the nickname the Killer of Observation Haki. Moreover, an ability that we should consider is scientific modification, aka becoming a cyborg like Frankie. This includes the addition of all kinds of insane robotic add-ons. However, since we already added Vegapunk's intelligence, this practically becomes redundant. Next is genetic modification, like Reiju or the Seraphims. Once again, this is not needed due to the addition of Vegapunk's intelligence. We did mention Saturn's ability to regenerate, but you see, he does have another special ability. He can summon other people to his location as well. Having mentioned all these abilities, we left the 2 strongest for last. The first is Shirahoshi's ability to command the Sea Kings. This ability is so strong that it basically made Shirahoshi one of the 3 ancient weapons. So which one of these would you choose? Well, on my end, I would choose none of these, because the choice for the special ability should be Blackbeard's ability to consume 3 devil fruits. And because of that, we unlock another 2 positions for us to choose, 1 for each additional devil fruit. Now, this ability of Blackbeard allows us to choose from some incredibly strong devil fruit combinations. So let's start with the second devil fruit for our character. This will be none other than Robin's Hana Hana no Mi. For anyone wondering why, well, one of the abilities of this devil fruit is that it allows the user to create body parts anywhere within a given space, even on the body of your opponent. So why is this so overpowered? Well, you see, now's when we choose this third devil fruit. All our character needs to do is grow an arm on his opponents and then use the ability of the third devil fruit to cause irreversible damage. touch. Some of the options we have are Bonnie's Toshi Toshi no Mi that allows her to turn opponents into either babies or elderly people when touching them. Sugar's Hobby Hobby no Mi that can turn the opponents into toys by touch, or the one I would personally choose. You see, the ones we mentioned just now do indeed allow our character to do what we analyzed, but as we saw with Law's case, when he was turned into a woman due to a Devil Fruit ability with strong enough hockey, opponents can negate the effect of the Devil Fruit shortly after it's taken into effect. Yeah, sure, this would still give an opening to our character to strike while his opponent is occupied trying to negate the effect of the previous attack, but still, this next Devil Fruit is even better in my opinion. Hear me out. How broken would it be if the Hana Hana no Mi was combined with the Goro Goro no Mi of Enel? Whether you have strong enough hockey or not, when you can be electrocuted with 1,000,000 volts at any given time, then this surely is a big issue. Having said all that, what we just mentioned now were some of the many strong Devil Fruit combinations. Check out this video to see all the insanely broken Devil Fruit combinations in One Piece. Go on, check it out!